Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another episode of Kast. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, including a couple of things that are really personal to me. I know that not a lot of people tend to watch Kast from watching, you know, the number of views in Kast versus the number of views and other stuff. And I just wanted to make sure that as many people as possible watch today's Kast because it's got a couple of really important updates on some pretty important topics. I feel that I really wanted most of my subscriber base to know about, because I just feel this stuff is important for you guys to know as a part of my audience. So let's get started with the shout outs, just to get those out of the way so that we can get to the really important stuff, to the meat of the video, so to speak. And the first shout out that I have is for Dominic Gygax, who has become a Patreon supporter. Thank you very much, Dominic Gygax. And then Theo Nishimura, who also became a Patreon supporter. Thank you very much. And then I would also like to thank Colin the Dino for donating Overlord on Steam. So thank you very much for that, Colin the Dino. Really appreciate it. So now let's get into what I was saying, the meat and potatoes of the video. Several people have been asking, Rurikhan, what's up with your TGN videos? Are you still working with TGN? We weren't aware that you were still working with TGN. What is going on? And I really want to clarify that entire situation so that everybody is in the clear about it. That was the thing that I mentioned before I left Gamescom. I told you guys I had something that I wanted to talk with you guys about, but I didn't really have the time to make a video on it back then. As a matter of fact, I've been so busy the past couple of weeks that I haven't had a video up until this point. And even right now, it's like as soon as I'm done with this, I got other videos that I need to work on instantly. So yeah, I've been keeping myself even busier, if that was possible, over the past couple of weeks. You guys have no idea. But yeah, in regards to the whole situation with TGN, I applied for a position with TGN. There was an opening and I got accepted, and I've been pretty much working with TGN since the beginning of Gamescom. Now, I didn't go to Gamescom on TGN's behalf, so to speak. Like, everything in terms of Gamescom got planned from the perspective of my personal channel. And it was just for my personal channel. But obviously, since I started working with them, a lot of the stuff that I got from Gamescom, I've been using as I produce material for TGN as well. So I didn't go there on their behalf, but I did bring a lot of stuff back that I have been using on TGN. And a lot of people, I know that you guys have this preconceived notion of TGN, and I would like to talk to you guys about my role in TGN a long time ago, because some people might not know, but I used to be with TGN right at the start, like right when TGN started on YouTube, pretty much when there were like 5-6 people involved in the project. I was one of those 5 or 6 people that were with TGN, creating content, working on just tons of stuff for TGN at the time. I was there. But obviously, I left TGN a long time ago, and the reason why I left specifically, I wanna bring that up because I feel it's important, because a lot of people don't know the things I know about TGN, so they have this notion that TGN is just out to cheat everyone or whatever, which is an image that was that kind of became the norm for TGN at some point. I can't exactly remember why that was. I know it may have something to do with the partnerships at the time or whatever. There was something that happened that I didn't really pay that much attention to, but I would like to talk about my specific case as to why I left TGN. So at the time when I was with TGN, I was doing a lot of stuff for them. So I was doing videos, but not only videos, I was doing some administrative work. I was helping with recruitment. I was helping with teaching some people basic video editing skills. I was doing tons of work for TGN at the time. This was back in like 2010, 2011. I can't even remember the exact date, but it was around that time when I was doing a lot of stuff for TGN. And eventually what happened was, you guys know that my passion has always been create video. I love creating video. And I was working on these other side things because I knew they needed to be done because there wasn't anyone else to do them. So they were paying me to do these things. I was receiving a salary at the time. And I was also receiving ad revenue from videos, which was the only really thing I cared about. I only cared about the videos. I was doing all this other stuff because I knew that we didn't have enough people and we needed people to like support the company so that TGN could grow into something a lot bigger than it was at the time. Because I'm talking about before the TGN hub was even founded. Okay, this was a long time ago. So as I was working on all this stuff, eventually we go into this meeting where the CEO of TGN at the time, who was George Vanus, who is currently the CEO of Freedom Network, I believe. At the time, George said that essentially everybody who was receiving salary was going to receive like a massive pay cut on the ad share of their videos. And my plan had always been all along, like, I'll help doing these things for as long as they're needed, but like my thing is working on videos. So when I hear that and saying that we're going to cut down on your rev share of videos because you're getting a salary, I was like, whoa. I'm sorry, what? What? So at the time, like I instantly, right after that meeting, I made the decision, I'm out of here because I want to work on videos. I'm doing all this stuff to support the company, but my thing is videos and I want to work on videos, and that's that. So that was the reason why I personally left TGN back in the day, and I joined the game station, which eventually transformed into Polaris. And now I don't even know if I'm even a part of Polaris or if I'm part of RPM. Stuff is really complicated over there. But yeah, that is what happened. That is the reason why I left and joined up with the game station, because I just wanted to kind of like evolve my channel from a video standpoint. But obviously recently I applied for a position with TGN, and the reasoning behind that, because I know that a lot of people are going to be asking, why'd you do that? And let me just tell you guys something that not a lot of YouTubers, at least I don't think a lot of YouTubers tend to share, like how much they made on a specific month or something like that. And I'm not going to give you specific numbers because, to be honest, I don't have those right in front of me right now. But I have like the ballpark figures. And let me just tell you, for the month of June, and YouTube salaries get paid like, I think 1 month, 2 months. Oh, I can't even remember like now. Stuff is so confusing, but I think they get paid like with a 2-month lag or something along those lines. So my June revenue was essentially $900. I made $900. June was a really good month, as was May, because that was like when the bulk of my Dark Souls 2 stuff came out. And I made a lot of views off of Dark Souls 2 stuff because obviously most of my audience really enjoys the Dark Souls 2 stuff. So I made $900 in May and I made $900 in June. Now, that's not necessarily amazing. I mean, it's pretty good when you look at the size of my channel, and it's actually something that you can kind of scrape by with in Portugal. So I was like, okay, this is okay. And then I received July, which was, if you guys remember, there was a time in July where I got sick. I made that one video that I was sick. I could barely speak. So I was out of commission for a couple of days. You want to know how much that costed me? So my revenue in July was around $500. So yeah, it's not necessarily something that you can kind of like plan your life with. You know, surviving on the whims of YouTube ad revenue on a channel the size of mine is just something that it's just not feasible. It is just not feasible, and it was just a situation like I've been thinking for a long time, even just quitting the whole thing. Of course, I tried Patreon. Patreon never really took off, as some of you guys may or may not be aware. I mean, sure, I'm really thankful for the people who donated Patreon. I don't want to sit here like some kind of an ungrateful asshole telling people, man, fuck Patreon, I didn't get jack shit. It wasn't like that. I mean, I got like 100 and something. I think I should be receiving like $170 something a month, of which I believe Patreon takes like 20 or something along those lines. I don't know the exact numbers right now because I didn't really note everything down for this video. I just wanted to do an update video and kind of tell you guys about this situation. But yeah, it's still not enough, particularly when you take into consideration that I have stuff like my computer is 4 years old, my gaming PC. So eventually, like, I don't know, give it a couple more months, I won't even be able to cover PC content anymore on this YouTube ad sale revenue. If I have any issues, which interestingly enough, I had an issue just last week, which pretty much forced me to bring down about $450 in computer equipment to fix my recording machine. So yeah, it's like one of those issues. Oh, there goes your entire July fucking salary ad whatever thingy from YouTube. So yeah, it is not feasible to kind of try to live the way that I've been trying to live for the past couple of months. And I have been thinking about just dropping the whole thing for quite some time. I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I need to find another job. I need to do something else because I'm not going to be able to sustain myself doing this forever. So this TGN opportunity presented itself and I took it. And so far it's been really, really cool. It's been great working with the team because like, you guys know, I'm not sure how many of you guys actually know Hengist. I used to do videos with him a long, long time ago. I used to really enjoy working with him. He's a really great guy. Obviously, you all know who Pallytime is. Pallytime is also someone who is working with the team. You guys might also recently have been introduced in my channel to Captain Shaq. He is another member of the team. So essentially, I'm working with those guys at TGN, creating content for TGN. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about it because I'm doing something that I love and I'm actually having an opportunity to work on videos for a lot longer periods of time than I would normally be able to work. Because like, I mean, if I'm doing a video for my channel, right, I have a limited amount of time that I can reasonably apply to it. The reasoning behind that is, sure, I can make videos more edited every now and then, but at the end of the day, most of those videos don't really like net me the amount of income that would justify me spending like 10 hours or something working on a video. It just doesn't work like that. And sure, you guys know that I'm incredibly passionate about working on video and that kind of stuff, but yeah, passion will only get you so far. After a while, you're going to need money if you want to survive. That's just the way life is. I know that a lot of people seem to think that people on YouTube should not be making money, but yeah, those people are just not reasonable and I just don't give a fuck about their opinion anyways, so I don't know. Okay, but that is the situation. I've been working with TGN. I'm going to keep working with TGM for as long as I possibly can. Just to give you guys an idea of some of the stuff that I've been working on, I actually have a playlist on my channel of all the videos that I've worked on or the videos that I'm in, because I'm also going to make like appearances on collab videos that I'm not necessarily the one working on the video, but I will be there to kind of support the person that is working on the video. So those are also going to be on the playlist. But I already know that a lot of you guys only look at the stuff that shows up on your feed. And if a video does not show up on your feed, you don't really care about it. And I also know that several of you guys are not going to want to subscribe to TGN. Although I would tell you, at least check it out because a lot of the stuff is different now. There's probably a link in my like channels list somewhere that you guys can go and check it out. Since the major rebranding that TGN did on September, was it the 3rd? I want to say on September the 3rd. You guys will notice like a big increase in the quality, in the production quality of the videos that we've been outputting there. You can see the examples of my videos. Like if you go to my channel, there's like a playlist right on top there. It says Rurikhan on TGN. So you can check that out if you're curious about the stuff that I do there. But like I said, a lot of you guys only care about the stuff that shows up on your feed. And I know that some of you are not going to want to subscribe to TGN. So what I'm going to do is like, I don't know, every Friday, every Sunday, at some point during the week, I will make a video saying like this week in TGN. And I will just have like all the videos that I work there with links to those videos that you guys can just click and go check out if you want to check those out or not. Now, the content that I'm actually working on for TGN is very different from the stuff that I usually do on my own channel. A lot of that content is actually scripted, which is something that I never really worked before. And it turns out I'm actually not terrible at it. I actually enjoy doing it. However, it is the type of content that really takes a lot more work to produce. Like, to give you guys an idea, yesterday I was working on a video. I can't really tell you guys what it was about, but I think it looked pretty cool. But I was working on a video, and that particular video took me over 12 hours to produce. Now, those 12 hours include the time of me researching stuff for the video, writing the script, after writing the script, recording it, after recording it, grabbing footage from trailers and whatnot, and putting everything together, applying TGN branded assets. All of that stuff took me around 12 hours to produce a video. And you guys are like, that's insane, 12 hours. How long is that video? It's less than 7 minutes. Yes, it is less than 7 minutes. It is over 12 hours of work put into something like that. And I think you can tell. I think when you look at the video, you can totally tell. One of my favorite videos that I've worked on so far for TGN has not been released as of the recording of this particular video. But as soon as that is released, I'm going to post it all over my social networks and stuff, because that particular video I really, really liked working on. It was a lot of fun. I spent like anywhere from 8 to 9 hours working on that particular one, and it is a sub 4-minute video, so it's less than 4 minutes, and it's like 8 or 9 hours of work put into it, and it was just a lot of fun to do, because it's a video that's got a lot of humor to it, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy that one. But yeah, that is the kind of stuff that I've been doing with TGN. That is the kind of stuff that I'm going to continue to do with TGN for as long as I possibly can. So a couple of questions are going to arise, which is, you guys are going to say, so now you're getting paid a salary, right? So what happens with this Patreon thing? Well, for starters, I want to eventually, I'm thinking about just flat out canceling it. The reason why I haven't shut down Patreon yet is because I'm still kind of like on a probation basis on TGN. So they're still like evaluating my videos in terms of performance, in terms of quality, in terms of all that stuff. And eventually we will see if they want to like keep me around or not, or how stuff is going to work. So everything is not like set in stone, so to speak. Which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to just like cancel the Patreon thing right away. But it is definitely something that is in my plans for the future, to eventually just phase out Patreon. Because if I keep the salary that I'm receiving from TGN, I don't think I'm going to need Patreon. And I'm not the kind of person that is in this to just make money off of it. I just want to have enough so that I can live, and that I can live and provide for my family, and that's it. That's all I want to make. It's like anything that comes extra, if it's being like given, if someone is sacrificing their hard-earned money for that, I don't want that. So eventually the Patreon thing might go away if this TGN thing keeps going the way it is. Because again, I don't want to like be making tons and tons of money in here. I just want to be able to provide for myself and my family and have fun with what I'm doing, and hopefully continue to entertain you guys. That's the way that I feel about that. And the other thing is, so it was the Patreon situation. The other situation is what is happening with the channel partnership, because a lot of you guys might be wondering, but weren't you with Maker Studios? How is that going to work out now? Maker Studios is the people who own Polaris, essentially. I mean, if you start going high enough, eventually you end up at Maker Studios. I mean, if you go even higher now, I guess you would end up at Disney, but yeah. So my channel is still in a partnership with Maker Studios. TGN did not demand as a part of my contract that I need to join with them. But to be honest, it's something that I want to personally do, because it's one of those things that kind of doesn't make sense. If I'm working for TGN, why keep my channel with Maker? You know, that's kind of the thing. So I am negotiating with Maker to see if we can come up to to something that is reasonable on both ends. Because essentially these contracts, they don't, how should I put this? There's nothing that conflicts between them, because I am working for TGN, but my channel is still a part of Maker. It's two completely separate things. But obviously I want to join my channel with TGN, because I like to keep things where it's like, look, if I'm working with these guys, then I'm working with these guys. It doesn't make any sense that I'm working here. So, and since I've never really done anything that would hurt Maker, quite the opposite, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So we'll see how that works out. I'm still kind of negotiating with them, my contract and all that, and see how we can switch. But the idea is that eventually my channel will be with TGN. It's just a matter of time. So those are the two questions that you guys would probably have, Patreon and the whole Maker situation. I still have a lot of friends at Maker, just like I used to have a lot of, just like I still had a lot of friends back at TGN when I was with Maker. I still have a lot of friends at Maker, despite the fact that I am switching over to TGN. As you guys probably noticed, I'm still working with Unit Lost whenever possible. So I still I keep in touch with everyone I've worked with, regardless of what network they're a part of. I don't really care about that stuff. This is not some kind of stupid war or anything where it's like, oh man, if you're a machinima director, you're a scumbag, or if you're a maker director, I hate you, or if you're a TGN director, I won't work with you. I mean, back when I was at Maker, I was working with Pallytime, who is a TGN director, and I think at some point I was at Maker and I was working with Unit Lost, we're at Maker as well, and we were doing a video together with someone who was from Machinima. I mean, Total Biscuit brings people to the co-optional podcast from Machinima, so I really hope that people don't see this like an adversarial type thing, because I can assure you that no YouTuber really sees it as an adversarial type thing. I mean, I constantly talk with Peef Peverson Peef Peverson for instance, and he is a part of the Cursed Network, I believe. Not 100% sure, because I don't even care. So yeah, it's one of those things. So another really important update that I wanted to give you guys. I've been rambling for a while, I know, but another really important update for me is the fact that I haven't told you guys this, and I've known for a while, and I know that this is something that most YouTubers will probably not even share, but I want to make sure I share most of what's happening in my life with you guys so that you guys are aware. And so I'm just going to go out and say it. My wife is pregnant. So that was another big, like influence on my decision of what I was going to do with everything. Because, I mean, obviously sticking to doing just YouTube stuff was not going to work out for the future, because I'm going to have to be able to provide for a little bit more than just me and my wife, and $500 a month is not going to cut it. So yeah, and now you guys are probably wondering, so does this mean that I'm stopping my channel? No, that is never going to happen. Not only that is not going to happen, TGN themselves, they don't want me to stop working on my personal channel, because I mean, it's a nice avenue for starters. It's a nice avenue for me to work on my creativity, because on my channel I get to do whatever the hell I want. On the TGN channel, I don't have as much creativity, as much creative freedom as I have on my own channel. But not only that, is like I've been building this channel since like 2011 at this point. It was December 2011 when I started this channel, and I'm never going to abandon this project. Like, that is not something that I'm going to do. Like, even if things don't work out with TGN, even if I have to get a job somewhere else, I'm still going to be working on my channel. I'm just not going to have as much time available for it as I used to have, which is the case right now. But this channel is not changing. I am doing experiments, like if you guys remember the Danganronpa 2 video, that was a scripted video because I wanted to see how you guys would react to a scripted video. It was a little bit of a mixed bag. Some of you guys liked it, some of you guys didn't like it. It was just one of those things that's like, I want to try out, see how this works in my own channel, just out of curiosity if you guys like that or not. So it wasn't really very conclusive, particularly because it was Danganronpa 2, which is a title that is very niche. So not a lot of people really like it. So I feel like I need to experiment with that a little bit more. But it's not going to be just scripted stuff on my channel. I'm going to keep doing tons of different things with the channel. I mean, obviously, Dark Souls is always going to be here. Bloodborne is always going to be here. I plan on continuing to do a lot of stuff with Soul Sacrifice, Monster Hunter. As a matter of fact, I've been slacking on Monster Hunter. I need to get back on Monster Hunter. The reason that I haven't been doing Monster Hunter is because if you guys just take a look at the ridiculous amount of videos that I've been releasing on TGN, you guys will notice, oh, that's what you've been doing with all the time that you haven't been producing other videos on your channel. I get it now. So yeah. Essentially, since we still have some time, I mean, this is the bulk of the really important stuff that I wanted to tell you guys about. So for those of you that don't like watching Cast, you can go now. You're free to leave. But for those of you that do enjoy the Cast updates and stuff like that, I have another thing here that I want to talk to you guys about. This right here is my Gamescom schedule. So I thought I would just include in this particular episode of Cast my trip vlog, which I tend to do for most of these Gamescoms. For most of these gaming conventions that I attend to kind of like give you guys just a little vlog of how my trip went. So I guess we can start with that. So I went on the 11th. I met up with a fellow Portuguese journalist, and it was really cool because I was going to get there and I was going to have to like figure out a way to get on the get on the metro, get on the train and take the train back to the Colmess, which is where Gamescom takes place, and from there I was going to have to walk all the way to my hotel. But what happened was this particular journalist had a car waiting for him from Microsoft, which I thought was really cool. And basically, he gave me a ride, and the driver was such a nice guy that he actually just drove me all the way to my hotel. So it was really cool of him. I really appreciate the gesture, and it was really cool that I actually got to just take a car straight to my hotel instead of having to lug my luggage around and go through the train, then from the train on to the whole thing. And it was really, really a lot better. But anyways, on the 11th, not a lot happened. I was walking around. I broke my shoes. I broke a pair of my good shoes, which were the shoes that I was going to use to go all over the place. And the reason why that was really bad is because those shoes were really comfortable. So they were really good for me to like walk around all day. Because I do an excess of over 10 kilometers every single day with my backpack chuck full of gear on any given day that I go to a gaming convention. Like easy, 10 kilometers, easy, if not more, okay? Just running around from one place to another. So I broke my good shoes. My good shoes were not in a functioning state, so I had to essentially use other shoes that were not as good, and that busted my feet real bad. So I suffered from painful feet throughout the entirety of Gamescom, just to let you guys know about that. But yeah, so on the 11th, I just did a little bit of recon. I saw how long it took me to get from my hotel to the different places that I would have to go to in order to attend different events. So that's essentially what I did on the 11th. Then on the 12th, I did a little bit more recon to figure out stuff that was close to my hotel, stuff that maybe I could go buy food from. Like there was actually a supermarket close by, which was really cool. I also went to find out like where I could go to like press rooms and stuff like that. I ended up not using any of the press rooms that were at my disposal in Gamescom. So yeah, it's just, I didn't have time. I just didn't have time. And eventually on the 12th, I got to see the Sony briefing, and where we saw a lot of really interesting stuff. I'm assuming a lot of you guys watched that stuff. If you didn't, if you go to YouTube and you just look up Sony Gamescom 2014 briefing, I'm pretty sure you can find it there, which is one of the reasons why I just decided not to film that stuff anymore, because I mean, Sony films it and they have actually a dedicated camera crew, which is working with the audio and all that other kinds of good stuff, which just makes it pointless for me to film it and then post it on my channel because it's going to look like ass when compared to the Sony version, of course. So I saw that, and after that, I went for dinner with the people from PlayStation Portugal, as well as a couple of other reporters. They always like organize a dinner for the people that go to the event from Portugal, so they've always been really nice to me. I'm always super thankful to PlayStation Portugal for sorting that stuff out and like just getting me into these events, as well as then buying us dinner while we're there so that we can all kind of like mingle with each other and whatnot. Mingle is not something dirty, is it? I don't think so. I think mingle is supposed to just be like, you know, people just hanging out and stuff, right? I think so. Anyways, yeah, there was that. And after that, I went back to my hotel and got ready for a really busy day. That was the 13th of August, which was the first day at Gamescom. So the first day that I was at Gamescom, the very first thing I did was I had a free slot of time. I had like 90 minutes worth of free slot of 90 minutes worth of free slot. That's a thing. I had 90 minutes of time available before my first thing that I had to go do. So I just went straight to the Nintendo booth because the Nintendo Portugal people got me access to all the stuff that they were showing there, that I could actually just go there anytime I wanted to and play their games. So I went there and I got to play Monster Hunter 4, and oh my god, Monster Hunter 4 is so good! It is so good. God damn it, I'm going to have to buy a 3DS to play that thing. The thing that is annoying me a lot is the fact that I wanted to buy like one of those modded 3DSs so that I could record stuff and then I could post stuff on YouTube for you guys. But apparently Nintendo is coming out with another DS, and it wouldn't be a problem. Like, I wouldn't mind having an older version of a DS, but the thing is, this DS they're coming out with supposedly has a little bit more power under the hood, so some games are only going to be supported by that DS, so it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense for me to buy an old modded DS when they're coming out with a new one. So I'm going to have to wait until they make a mod for that DS before I buy one. I don't know, it's all very frustrating because I really want to play Monster Hunter 4. It's just really, really good. Anyways, after Monster Hunter 4, I got to playing Bayonetta 2, also really awesome. I'm looking really forward to playing that. And that was the extent of what I got to do there at the time, because after that I just had to... No, wait, it wasn't Bayonetta 2. What I played was Hyrule Warriors, actually. Bayonetta 2 was another day. I played Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors is also looking really good because I like Dynasty Warriors kind of games, and you just slap a Zelda skin on it. Looks great. Plays great. I don't know what else I can tell you guys about that. But anyways, after that, I went to do a Hearthstone interview, where I got to interview Yong Wu about Hearthstone, and did a couple of questions there. You guys probably already saw that interview up on the channel, so not a whole lot to say about that. After that, I had to run over to the Sony Hotel, and I say Sony Hotel, it's the Radisson Blu Hotel, which is right next to the Gamescom 2013, and Sony just does all their presentations, Sony Europe does all their presentations at that hotel. So I went there and I got to see a 1-hour presentation of Bloodborne. You guys already saw the results of that in the channel. After that, I went back to Gamescom, and at 2 o'clock I had the NIS America presentation, where I got to watch, oh man, I don't have the stuff here. Damn it, I wish I had the stuff here so that I could show you guys. But I got to watch a presentation on Natural Doctrine. I'm really excited about Natural Doctrine, even though a lot of people are going to say, oh man, the graphics on that game don't look amazing. Guys, games are about more than graphics. Natural Doctrine just looks like so solid. In terms of a tactical, like turn-based RPG, that game is looking amazing. Like, I really want to check out that one as soon as I possibly can, really. I'm excited for it. So I got to see that. I saw a little bit of this Gaia 4. I saw some Persona Q. I wasn't really a big fan of Persona Q. I mean, I love Persona, but that particular aspect of it, I don't know. I just didn't like what I saw there. So I saw this Gaia 4, saw Natural Doctrine, saw Danganronpa 2. You guys already seen the Danganronpa video on my channel. They also gave me they gave me 1 retail copy of Danganronpa 2 and 1 retail copy of this Gaia 4, and I was just like, yes, retail copies. I love retail copies. I'm so fucking tired of digital bullshit. Give me retail, man. I love retail. So it's a different experience. It's a whole different experience because you get a box, get a little bit of like a little bit of art on the box, and it's just I don't know. It's completely different for me. And not to mention, this Gaia 4 is just fucking amazing. Like, if you like this Gaia titles, and just the intro, it's like, these wonderful creatures known as sardines, and you're like, it's a vampire, eat sardines, what the fuck? It's amazing. Seriously, if you haven't checked out the video that I did on this Gaia 4, you should definitely check it out. Danganronpa 2 is a little bit more niche, but if you guys are curious about it, you should also check it out because it might be interesting for you. After that, I got to see some gameplay of Alien Isolation. Can't really say it's really my kind of game, but I was curious to check it out. It's looking pretty decent, I guess, if you like horror type games. There's going to be a video soon. I think it might have already went up. Not 100% sure, on TGN about Alien Isolation, where he used some of my notes that I took during that presentation. So if you guys are curious about that, there's going to be a video coming up on that on TGN, or it might have already gone up. I'm not entirely sure. You guys might want to check up on that. Then I got to do the Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition interview with Blizzard, which you guys probably already seen on my channel as well. I watched a presentation of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm actually curious about this one because it's going more the route of Quake almost, with all the jumping around and whatnot. I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do with it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be one of those guys that plays Call of Duty like exclusively for long periods of time, but I am curious to check out what they are doing with it. I was trying to remember if I did something in between Alien Isolation and Diablo 3, since there's like a 1 hour hole in here, but I guess I didn't. Anyways, after Call of Duty, I went to watch that Konami event that went live on Twitch as well. You guys might remember that. Kojima was reading tweets and stuff like that during that event, and I actually fell asleep during that event. And you guys are like, what? That is so disrespectful. And I'm like, look, guys, I was walking around all day long throughout the show floor, and then I had to walk like 2 kilometers or maybe even more than that to get to the place where the Konami Gala was taking place. And after that, they sit me in the dark on a reasonably comfortable chair. What do you expect? I was friggin' dying out there. I was just like, oh, pfft. I fell asleep. I totally fell asleep. Not just me. Like, I think every Portuguese reporter fell asleep during that presentation. And it's not because it was a bad presentation. It's just because we were all, like, completely tired and wasted. And by wasted, I don't mean drunk, because I get it that sometimes I say that I'm wasted and some people think I mean drunk. I just mean really, like, spent. Wasted as in spent. I was tired. My stamina was completely expired. I had no stamina gauge left. Anything could guard break me at that point. Okay, so then we have the events of Thursday. So Thursday, we start off by having a presentation at the Radisson Blu Hotel, the Sony presentation, about, what's the name called? Until Dawn, which is a game that's looking kind of interesting. It's not usually the kind of game that I would go to, but I find it interesting the amount of possibilities that that game has. I made a video about it. You guys can check that in that playlist that I told you guys about. Then we got to see some Drive Club, which interestingly enough, there's like 3 major releases that in terms of car games that are coming out pretty soon here, I think. It's going to be Project Cars, it's going to be Drive Club, and there's another one that I keep forgetting the name of that other game that's going to come out. God damn it, I totally forgot about it again. But I know that there's another game that's going to come out. And right now, after watching this Drive Club presentation, I became somewhat excited about Drive Club. And the reasoning behind it is because Drive Club is... The thing about Drive Club is it seems that anything that you do gives you points and gets you to unlock stuff, which is cool. Because I'm not great at car games. You guys probably noticed that already. I mean, I did 3 videos on Gran Turismo 6. I did 3 videos on Gran Turismo 6. I love that game, but I'm not the best driver in the world. Let's put it that way in terms of video games. Because in real life, I'm the fucking best. Goddamn right I am. But this presentation got me really excited about it. You guys can see a video on that as well. I've made one of those for TGN, which you guys should take a look at if you're curious about Drive Club. Because I talk about a lot of the features that got me excited about it in that video. Anyways, at this point, I had like a free hour. So I went to talk to the PlayStation Portugal people, and they told me, you know what, you should try to get in on that Oculus presentation they're doing right now. And I was able to get in and play all of the Oculus stuff. There's also a video already made on that. You guys can go check that out. Really, really cool. Oculus. Morpheus. Oh, man. The PlayStation people are going to fucking kill me. They're going to come up to my house and they're going to go, they're like, what the fuck, man? You backstabbing son of a bitch. No, it was Morpheus, Project Morpheus. I got to check out a lot of Project Morpheus' stuff, and it's looking really, really cool. You guys want to check that out. I know that I'm probably like sweating right now because it's so hot in here, and I need to have all doors closed because of sounds. So yeah, I'm sweating really hard right now. I'm probably bright red in the camera. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just really hot in here, and I don't have an air conditioning because that shit's expensive. Anyways, after that, I got to watch a little presentation on The Order, a little bit of an update, not really a whole lot to say on that one. I can't really remember what I did. Oh yeah, in this slot, I then went and I went to the EA booth because I got a contact that actually allowed me to go into the EA booth. I went there to their business booth, and I got to see some people play Dragon Age Inquisition. I haven't done a video on that yet, but I really should, because I know a lot of you guys are curious about Dragon Age Inquisition. So I need to work on a video for that. I saw some interesting stuff. It looks like the game's going to be pretty cool. And recently we've had the announcement about the cooperative multiplayer. So I know that a lot of people are excited about Dragon Age Inquisition, and that is definitely something that is on my radar for me to make a video on. So yeah, that's what I did right after the order presentation. Shortly after that, I think I went to the Nintendo booth and I got to play, that was when I got to play Bayonetta 2 and Super Smash Brothers. No, wait. That was in the morning. That was this morning, actually. That was on Thursday morning. Like right before I went to the Sony presentations, I went to Gamescom. Because here's an interesting thing, right? I had an hour free because Gamescom opens at 9. And I had a presentation at 10. But it's like, man, I have 1 whole hour here that I've got nothing to do. So I woke up earlier instead of going at 10 for the Sony presentation. And I went at 9. At 9 o'clock sharp, I was at Gamescom. At 9 o'clock sharp, I was at Gamescom. I got in, I went straight to the Nintendo booth again, and I played Bayonetta 2, which is just looking so good. I loved what I saw of Bayonetta 2. Really, really just kind of solidified the fact that I had bought a Wii U, and I was excited about the stuff that was coming out, and Bayonetta 2 is just like right up my alley. I'm so excited about Bayonetta 2. After Bayonetta 2, I played Super Smash Brothers Brawl, which I know a lot of people are super hyped for that. To be honest, out of all of the things that I saw at the Nintendo booth, I would have to say the stuff that excited me the most was definitely Monster Hunter 4 and Bayonetta 2. And after that, I'm not exactly sure if I liked Hyrule Warriors better or Smash Brothers better. I don't know. It's a very short amount of time that I had to play Smash Brothers, so I couldn't really get into it that much. But it's definitely a cool game, definitely solid game, all of that. It just didn't impress me as much as I was expecting for the amount of hype that it's got going behind it. So we're definitely going to be doing that on the channel, though. I'm pretty sure Nintendo Portugal is going to hook us up with some keys for that so that I can show it to you guys and give you guys my report on it. But yeah, so we did the whole EA thing. After that, we had to go back to the Radisson Blu again because we did the interview on Until Dawn, which is already up on the channel by now, so you guys can go check that out if you're curious about it. It was pretty cool. Really enjoyed doing that interview. And after that, we went to the Namco Bandai booth where we did the Dragon Ball Xenoverse interview, which apparently was the most successful interview that I did in Gamescom and the one with the least quality because there was just so much noise. Like, guys might think, oh man, you didn't set up your microphone properly. It was capturing way too much background noise. No, you don't understand. We could barely hear them talk during the presentation. I think there was some kind of like a restaurant or something close to the business booth of Namco Bandai because there was so much noise in there. You guys have no idea. Like, if you're curious, you can check out the level of noise in the Dragon Ball Xenoverse interview, then compare that to the Rise of Incarnates interview, which was essentially in the same place, but at different times. So I'm pretty sure that there was something happening there on Thursday night because, yeah, that was messed up. Then on Friday, because I don't think anything else happened on Thursday. I'm pretty sure nothing of importance happened Thursday evening. Nothing that I can remember anyways. I just went to my hotel, worked on some stuff. Pretty uneventful day. So then on Friday, we went to watch another presentation on Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And I say another one because we had already been to the Konami event, if you guys remember that. We want to watch another presentation, which was essentially the same thing that we had seen before, but it also had the added stuff on the multiplayer, which is really cool. And there's going to be a video coming up soon on TGN about some of the things that I saw there. And that video is, oh man, I can't wait for you guys to see that video. That video is, you guys are gonna laugh your asses off. Anyways, after that, I went to see Hellraid. And here's something interesting that happened. I went to see a presentation of Hellraid. And after seeing that presentation of Hellraid, no, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. I went to see a presentation of Hellraid. After seeing that presentation of Hellraid, I had to interview the guys at Hellraid. I think you guys have already seen that interview because that's been up on the channel. Really like what I saw from Hellraid. Really curious to checking it out for sure. Then I went to do the presentation for Rise of the Incarnates. And I also interviewed the guys from Rise of the Incarnates. Again, that interview already on the channel. And after that, something really interesting happened, which was Thursday night. The Sunlight Blade was tweeting about how he wasn't able to get to play Bloodborne. So I sent him a message on Twitter and I told him, look, man, here's what we're going to do. Here's my phone number, and I want you to call me on Friday, I want you to call me, and I'm going to make sure you play Bloodborne, because I had extra fast passes that I had gotten from the PlayStation Portugal people. So, after the Rise of the Incarnates interview, Sunlight Blade texted me telling me, man, I'm in the line. It's going to still take a long time, but I don't want to leave my spot in the line because I'm almost like halfway through it. And I was just like, dude, what is wrong with you? I actually ran up. I had in between the Rise of the Incarnates presentation and the next presentation that I had like 30 minutes. Now, 30 minutes might sound like a really long time, but trust me, 30 minutes getting from one end to Gamescom to the other and going through like thousands upon thousands of people, it's not that much time. So I just start running through, almost running over people, just like running through straight onto the Bloodborne booth, where I then receive another text. Do you think it's going to be faster if I leave the line? And I'm like, I'm here, stand up. He stands up and I'm like, there he is. I see Sunlight Blade. I go up to him. Here you go. Come with me. I bring him over to like the front entrance of the booth and I just say, look, here's a fast pass. This guy needs to play Bloodborne. Boom. He goes right in, just like goes ahead of everybody else. And he thanks me for it, and I'm saying, look, sorry, I'd love to stay in chat, but I really just got to get the fuck out of here. Boom, get the hell out of there. And then I went to see a presentation on Assassin's Creed Rogue, which actually didn't impress me all that much. As a matter of fact, Assassin's Creed Rogue is just something that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, why would you want an Assassin's Creed that is exclusive to the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360? And I believe it's also coming out for the PC, right? So what? It's just because they want to make sure they sell you Unity, and then a couple of months down the line, they'll give you like the HD remastered version on PS4 and Xbox One, which, yeah, whatever. After that, I played some Far Cry 4, looking pretty good. Not a lot of really new stuff in terms of like from 4 to 3, but it looks pretty good, plays pretty well. Far Cry 3 is pretty cool, so there's no reason not to play Far Cry 4. After that, I went straight on to Lords of the Fallen, where I got to play Lords of the Fallen. You guys have already seen a video on that, most likely, my hands-on experience. And also Lords of the Fallen, the interview. I also interviewed a guy there, which is pretty cool. Really liked what I saw from Lords of the Fallen. After that, I went to just sort out my notes and whatnot, and then we went to do the Heroes of the Storm interview, which was an interview that was ridiculously hard for me to make. And you know why? Because up until this point, Blizzard still hasn't given me a goddamn alpha key for Heroes of the Storm. How the fuck am I supposed to conduct an interview on a game that's a lot of people already played? And how am I supposed to get an interview that's got relevant information for those people if I never played the game myself? Oh man, this was one of the toughest interviews I had to conduct. As a matter of fact, it just got to a point where I was like, look, I got no more questions, and you just hear the other person asking question after question because I didn't play the game. It was pretty hard to get like relevant questions in. After this, I went to the Devolver Digital booth. Actually, it's not Devolver Digital, it was Cosmo Cover, who had Devolver Digital people there. Played Hotline Miami 2, played Titan Souls, watched a really cool game, which was called Not a Hero. Oh, man, just so much cool indie stuff at the Devolver booth. And the attitude of the people at the Devolver booth was just like, it was fucking amazing. I loved the time that I spent there. Really, really cool. And that was pretty much all the stuff I did. So a couple more things that happened at Gamescom on the 13th of August on Wednesday, about the time that I was done with all of my presentations. Nightly Sonata found me. She actually came look for me at the business halls, which was very nice of her. Thank you very much. We took a picture together, which I posted up on Twitter and whatnot. On Friday morning, I got recognized by someone who was doing press for Electronic Arts, which was pretty cool. Again, getting recognized 3 times at Gamescom, for me, that was like insane. But the other time was after the Heroes of the Storm thing. I was just wandering around through, well, actually after the Devolver Digital thing, I was just wandering around through the show floor because that's the only time I actually get to see the show floor itself. I was just wandering around and I came across someone else who recognized me. It was Sir Lord Esquire. Is it Sir Lord Doctor, I think, on Twitter. He recognized me, and I gave him, his girlfriend, and his friend 3 passes so that they could go and play Evolve, because I had like fast passes from 2K that I wasn't going to be able to use. So I just like, here guys, go play Evolve. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, and then on Friday night, yeah, Friday night was pretty much it. Oh no, wait, Friday night was when I got together with Laughing Jackal, because I had this other Portuguese journalist that didn't have a place to stay on his last day, and since my hotel room had 2 beds, I told him he could stay with me, and he had to meet up with Laughing Jackal so that they could show him a game they're working on, which is called Flame Over. And so Laughing Jackal actually bought us dinner, which was pretty cool of them. We all just like stood there. I think we talked all the way up until midnight or something ridiculous like that. So it was really cool getting to know them. They should be sending me eventually a build so that I can show you guys what Flame Over is looking like. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of my Gamescom trip. So pretty big Cast, a lot of information to process. Like I said, I always like to be transparent to you guys as to what is going down. It was really painful for me to have to wait this long to tell you all this information because I've just been ridiculously busy. But yeah, leave me all your comments, feedback, all that kinds of good stuff in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.